and welcome to a special edition of Up Close on METV. I'm Charles Clapsaddle, Station Manager for Manatee Educational Television. And it's a great pleasure to have with us today Robin Fossey, the Executive Director of the Neuro Challenge Foundation for Parkinson's. Robin, thank you so much for joining us here today, and I can't tell you how much I've looked forward to doing this, because this is a very serious issue. The Neuro Challenge focuses on those people with Parkinson's and provides resources, information, guidance to a wide variety of people. So we're very excited to hear all about this today. But first of all, before we begin, tell us a little bit about what the Neuro Challenge Foundation is and how long you've been around.
Sure. Well, first of all, thank you very much for having me today to discuss the great work being done at Neuro Challenge Foundation for Parkinson's. We are a nonprofit organization, and we're dedicated to improving the quality of life of people with Parkinson's and their caregivers. Mm-hmm. And in 2018, we will celebrate our 10-year anniversary.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. That's a very important milestone for us. And our organization started in 2008 when our founder, Dr. Dean Sutherland, and his wife, Doreen, realized that his patients who had Parkinson's disease needed a lot more than what he was able to give in his regular routine medical exams. People with Parkinson's disease need education, support. They need to be actively involved in their communities in order to be able to live well with the disease.
Now, I want to get into great detail about what Parkinson's is and how different it is for different people. Parkinson's is basically a degenerative neurological disease, and it's progressive as well. There is no cure for Parkinson's. It's not as if you can take medication and it improves it. It's a degenerative disease, so it requires a great deal of attention, not only from the individual, but from the caregiver as well.
Yes, absolutely. And often the caregivers are the most burdened when it comes to the disease because no one's caring for them. Right. Parkinson's is a progressive neurodegenerative disease that is also chronic, and because the disease is so dynamic, it varies from person to person. So you could have 10 different people with Parkinson's and they have 10 different forms of Parkinson's disease.
That's remarkable, isn't it?
It really is. And it is one of the things that makes the disease challenging to live with because not everyone has the same symptoms. And aside from the typical motor symptoms that most people associate with Parkinson's disease, there are also a lot of non-motor symptoms that affect someone's executive decision-making skills, cognitive behavioral issues that also come with the disease that can make it very challenging to live with.
Well, I think most people, would think, they have somebody with Parkinson's, they see that lack of muscular control, they see the shakes and the tremors, and they think, well, that's it. But it's so much more than that. It
is much more than that. And in fact, some people who have Parkinson's disease do not exhibit the unilateral tremor that is most often associated with the disease. Right. So some of the other challenges, such as depression, apathy, becoming withdrawn, I mean, those things can really affect a person with Parkinson's. And of course, their caregivers, their family members, their spouse, significant others, because they then become isolated and withdrawn. They're embarrassed to be in public. They're scared to be around people who may not understand the disease or know why they're exhibiting those symptoms.
Right, and makes it increasingly demanding of the caregiver as well to be able to care for that loved one that you have with these, developing degenerative conditions. Let's talk a little bit about the scope of what Parkinson's is, how it affects people. Now, first of all, the Neuro Challenge Foundation is throughout this entire area. In Sarasota, and most recently Manatee. And what other counties do you serve?
We currently serve Manatee, Sarasota, Charlotte, and then South Pinellas County.
Oh, well, that's quite a wide reach. And, this is an aging population in this area. So I'm sure that, you have an increasing presence, not only in those areas, but you have an increasing requirement for your services as well.
Absolutely. So nationwide, there are over 1 million people living in the United States with Parkinson's disease. And in our service area, in Manatee, Sarasota, and Charlotte counties alone, there's an estimated 9,000 people who are affected by the disease.
At different levels.
All at different levels. And then there's the people who are not yet diagnosed. And perhaps they are misdiagnosed, which happens very often. So living here in this beautiful sun coast, Gulf Coast of Florida, where so many people come here to retire, we seem to see increased incidence of Parkinson's because we do have an older population.
Right.
The average onset of the disease is 62 years old.
Really?
It is.
Which is relatively young when you think about it in this day and age.
Absolutely. And with the baby boomers also aging, all of these factors contribute to our community really seeing an increased population of people who are affected by the disease.
Well, one of the things, and this is just a question that came to mind. Are there indicators that an individual is more prone to Parkinson's? Is it a genetic makeup? Is this something that comes through just arbitrarily to individuals? So how does Parkinson's develop within the population?
Well, those are a lot of different questions, and so I'll try to address them the best that I can. And I will start by saying that I am not a medical expert, but I have learned a lot about the disease through our medical advisory committee and then through my staff who work with the Parkinson's community each and every day. So we estimate that 5 to 8% of people with Parkinson's, it could be something that is considered genetic, but it's a very, very low percentage. There is a lot of research in terms of what causes Parkinson's. We know that Vietnam-era vets who were exposed to Agent Orange in the war have a higher incident rate of developing Parkinson's disease. But overall, there really are no indicators. There's nothing that says this person's going to end up with Parkinson's.
So as the symptoms begin to develop and you're going to your doctor and you find out, they will diagnose you and say these are indicators that may lead to Parkinson's. And that's only from a medical checkup then.
Sure. And what happens is often the person who thinks they have Parkinson's will start to have a tremor. And it's a unilateral tremor. So a tremor that exhibits in one hand or one side of the body or the other. And many of the stories I've heard is it could be one finger that begins to twitch, another involuntary movement, but it's different once again from person to person, and some people may not exhibit those symptoms at all. Unfortunately, because it's such a dynamic disease, it sometimes is very hard to diagnose. And people have to go from doctor to doctor. And so this is where it becomes very important that if a person feels that they may have Parkinson's disease, that they discuss it with their primary care doctor. And if you feel that you're not getting the answers that you need, seek a specialist, seek a neurologist. In our communities here that we serve in Manatee and Sarasota County in particular, we have some phenomenal leaders in the world of Parkinson's. They are very patient-focused, patient-centered people who have a lot of experience treating and diagnosing the disease.
Well, and I'm sure that's where the Neuro Challenge Foundation steps in, is if you have questions or are concerned about yourself or your loved one, is that you can say, well, here, try this, go to this physician, go to this clinic, go to this hospital, and find out more about it.
Sure. When someone calls us, we always want to know who diagnosed you? Are you under the current care of a specialist? Those importance are very important, because if for some reason they are not under the care of a specialist, we want to make sure that they're getting the best possible treatment and have access to the best possible therapies as well.
And I think that is part and parcel of what the Neuro Challenge Foundation does. But you have a wide variety of services, resources, approaches that you can help those not only suffering, but the caregivers as well. Tell us about some of the resources and services that you provide, Robin.
Absolutely. Well, I'm very proud to say that we provide more than 30 monthly programs to people with Parkinson's and their caregivers, and all of our programs and services are provided at no charge.
Which is a remarkable thing. So if you're a caregiver and
Yes.
your loved one is suffering from Parkinson's, they can come to the Neuro Challenge Foundation and say, Robin, I need this, what resources, what can we do, what outreach is available, and you can provide all of that at no charge.
Absolutely.
Which is a remarkable achievement, and congratulations
Thank
for
you.
doing that.
We're also able to connect the people affected by Parkinson's disease with the resources that they need. So, for example, exercise has been proven to slow the progression of the disease. And we really want our community to be engaged, because engaging in exercise or any kind of physical activity goes way beyond the actual activity itself. It also helps to create a social environment where people with Parkinson's can interact.
Which I think would probably be very important to have, fellow people that are undergoing the same problems as you are, to have that kind of interaction.
Very important. And many times those interactions create relationships and people who even outside of our programs are able to support one another.
Well, let me just ask you this. So these services, and how many people was the Neuro Challenge Foundation able to help last year?
Last year, we served over 2,000 people.
That's remarkable.
Thank you.
It really
Thank
is, and congratulations, and hats off to you for doing this. So with all these 2,000 people taking, great advantage of the services, resources, expertise that you're able to offer, at no charge to them, do you apply for grants through the government, or are you underwritten by any aspect of it? Because, it's really valuable to know how perhaps the community can help the Neuro Challenge Foundation.
Absolutely. Well, we are able to provide everything that we do at no charge thanks to the generosity of the communities that we serve.
Oh, that's wonderful.
We do not receive any government, state funding at
That's
all.
excellent.
We do not receive any insurance reimbursement. The majority of our income at this moment comes from our annual gala that's held in the spring. Very successful event where we bring the community together to
Excellent.
celebrate living well
That's
with
wonderful.
Parkinson's. We also have a very successful annual campaign, and we have people that just really want to support Neuro Challenge.
Yeah.
We have business partners who also like to support our programs and services, and then we do get a few foundation grants.
Which I think is really remarkable. It just shows, the community support for the efforts of the Neuro Challenge Foundation and all that you do. To be able to go to this community and say, and this is a very generous community, but Sarasota and Manatee alike, and they fully understand, that an organization such as the Neuro Challenge Foundation needs their support to continue the good work that they do.
We do. We need the community's support for several reasons. First of all, we need to be able to access the people who are affected by the disease. And so first and foremost, having relationships with local neurologists, healthcare organizations, and physicians, it's critical. Being able to partner with Manatee Educational Television to get the word out, that helps us to reach people who don't even know that these programs and services exist.
And I think that's something that we're going to talk about in just a few minutes, about some future efforts that this partnership is going to do. But before we go much further, within the organization, within the foundation itself, you have a team of medical professionals that are part of your advisory board, perhaps, that work with you to say, well, here, this is new research, or these are new methodologies that are in play now that we want you to share with the community at large.
Sure. So we have a medical advisory committee that it consists of 10 medical professionals that are representative of all the communities we serve, from Charlotte County to Pinellas County.
Excellent.
Here in Manatee County, we're very fortunate to have Dr. Douglas Sinclair of Bradenton Neurology and Dr. Deborah Burke from the Ross Camp Institute.
Couldn't ask for two better organizations.
Absolutely. Very supportive, and once again, very patient-focused, patient-centered. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention the team at Neuro Challenge that actually they conduct the mission each and every day, and those are our care advisors. We have 3 care advisors, and our care advisors are the people who are actively interacting with the community each and every day, along with our operations manager, who is the person when you call, you're going to get Sarah Weinberg, who will answer your phone, answer your call, answer your initial questions, and connect you with the right person in the right community.
And I think that's too, and hats off to you for recognizing your staff and the many people that make the Neuro Challenge Foundation so successful. And we're probably going to be talking with them, or you're going to be talking with them sometime in the future. But one of the key things that you mentioned that I'd like for you to take a moment is that you're now here in Manatee County.
Yes.
There is an aging portion of the demographics here. What would you like this community to know about, where you're located, what services are available at that location? And then I want to talk to you a little bit about the caregiver outreach.
Sure. So we opened an office in Manatee County on Cortez Road on July 10th. So this is very new to us. And in that office, Jennifer Williams, who is the care advisor who is dedicated to serving Manatee County residents, will work there, and she is going to be performing care advising appointments, individualized care advising appointments. That, of course, is by appointment, and so you do need to call first. Jennifer is also responsible for coordinating and facilitating the 9 monthly programs that are held throughout Manatee County.
Now, that's one thing that I'd like for you to take a moment to, because you have these programs open to the public, free to the public, in a variety of different locations that provide information, updates, insight into Parkinson's. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
And these are workshops with recognized leaders in their field.
Absolutely. So we have 9 different programs throughout Manatee County. We're very fortunate to have wonderful community partners, and I have to say, for example, Goodwill Minnesota was one of our first partners in Manatee County. Jewish Family and Children's Services helps to provide a social worker to help us co-facilitate certain groups in Manatee. We also work with Sarasota Memorial Hospital at Heritage Harbor, and we have a monthly program with Manatee Memorial Hospital that just began this year.
Well, it seems to me you're covering all the bases on these to outreach, and I think that's very valuable. And we're going to have your website up on the screen, so if people want to find out about these programs, when they are, where they are and stuff, they can go to your website and easily find out all that information.
A complete list of all of our programs by county is available on the website, along with our special events that will be coming up.
And I think that's very important for the community to know that these things are on an ongoing basis, on a monthly basis, and they can take advantage of them. And not just for patients, but also the caregivers, which brings me to the question. The caregivers that are out there for people with Parkinson's, it's tough. They see the degenerative nature of this disease on a day-to-day basis. It's very demanding, and caregivers need to know that there are resources, services that are available that people can use.
Yes, and it's often the caregiver that reaches out to Neuro Challenge first. And they need to surround themselves with a community of support, and that's what we're here to do. Some people are not ready to come to a group meeting. They're not ready to self-identify or to identify their loved one as needing help. So we're able to talk with them on the telephone. We're able to care advise over the phone to say, this is what Parkinson's is, this is what you can expect, and this is how Neuro Challenge can help.
I think that's an excellent opportunity to do that. Now, as you mentioned very early, part of your mission is to connect with the community, to educate, enlighten, to put information out there. So, as part of your initiative, the Neuro Challenge Foundation and you and specifically are going to be developing a series of programs with METV, and we're very fortunate it's called A Better Approach to Parkinson's, which you'll host with a wide variety of guests on a wide variety of subjects. And I think that's really important because, as you mentioned earlier in the program, there's a wide variety of issues connected with Parkinson's and a wide variety of information that's also you want to be made available.
Charles, we are so very excited to have this opportunity. one aspect of multiple aspects of Parkinson's disease in terms of coming to terms with the disease involve sometimes people are not ready to make that phone call.
Well, yeah, that's a big part of it.
Sometimes they're not ready to be part of a group. Sometimes they're not ready to acknowledge that they have the disease.
Yep.
They may be shut in. They may have no access to transportation.
A big part of it as well. So
and they may not be able to leave their home.
Yeah.
And so this partnership is going to allow us to reach more people from the privacy of their own home.
Right, and through, on our broadcasts and through our YouTube channels, this will always be available. But, you've developed kind of a list of some of the potential programs that you're going to be producing with special guests, informed guests, and very knowledgeable people. And I just want to run down the list if I may.
Sure.
Basically kind of a Parkinson's 101. What are the cognitive and what are the behavioral issues? Basically a caregiver forum to hear their concerns and issues as being a caregiver. Therapy, exercise, nutrition, medication, treatment, vision, which is a critical part of it, practical tips for managing Parkinson's, but also one of the interesting things which you mentioned earlier is veterans with Parkinson's. So I think that's going to be a very critical program. Driving, which is another major issue, advice from elder law people, as well as addiction and Parkinson's disease. So we're not going to talk about all of these all at once. Each one of these programs in the series will focus on that issue, and I'm sure you'll develop a lot more. And I have to tell you, Robin, this is a very thorough, in-depth approach to this, which gives this community and the region that we're in an opportunity to learn not only about Parkinson's for themselves, but for their loved ones.
Absolutely, and I appreciate that compliment. And the compliment truly goes to the people who have built this organization over the past 9 years, and the staff and our board of directors and all of our committees that support the work that's being done. Because without that wide body of people to support us, we wouldn't be able to execute our mission.
Well, again, under your leadership and your vision, you can continue to get that information out there and kind of grow and develop that community outreach, which is so essential to reaching people. Now, Robin, we're kind of running out of time here for the last few minutes. I want to give you the opportunity to, what would you say to this community about the importance of the Neuro Challenge Foundation and the services, resources, and support that you can offer?
We want people with Parkinson's, their caregivers, family members. It doesn't matter if you're the neighbor. It doesn't matter what your association to the disease is. We want you to know that you are not alone and that we are here to connect you with whatever resources you are ready to accept.
Oh, it's important.
Yes, and everything that we do is provided at no charge. There's no barrier to get involved. There's no insurance involved. Just pick up the phone, give us a call, or visit us at www.neurochallenge.org.
And we're going to have that up on the screen again. And again, we're very excited. We're very proud to partner with you in your future series, which will begin next month. But I do want to also just reiterate the fact that these programs that are available on a monthly basis at all these wide variety of locations, people can access and find out more specifically about that through your website. And it's a variety of different things at different locations. One might be about caregivers, one might be about research. Whatever the case might be, you have all of that information for somebody to access at your site.
Absolutely, on our website, and if someone doesn't have access to the internet, they can always call us at 941-926-6413.
Just hear that phone number again?
941-926-6413.
Well, Robin, first of all, congratulations for the last 10 years of success that the Neuro Challenge Foundation has done, and for kind of having this passion and commitment to bring comfort and information to those people suffering with Parkinson's, and also to their caregivers, which is so vitally important. And congratulations for taking the reins on developing a better approach to Parkinson's, which is going to be an ongoing series that deals with Parkinson's and how it affects individuals, their loved ones, and what information is really important to know. And we expect a wide range of people that you're going to be bringing in to talk about a wide variety of subjects.
Thank you. And I thank you so very much, Charles, for this partnership and this opportunity.
Well, Robin, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us on this special edition of Up Close on METV. Please, if you would like to find out additional information about the Neuro Challenge Foundation and all the resources and services that can offer, please go to their website or give them a call. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Up Close on METV. And then we just